Good morning, everybody. How are we doing? Oh, my volume a little bit loud there. Oh, it looks a little bit loud. Sam here, United People's TV, and we're here to begin the build-up to Bilbao. I'm sure you're all as nervous as I am, especially after watching United at the weekend. I say it wasn't even the weekend, it was Friday night that it ruined, rather than the weekend. I took a couple of days off. I was going to do a video. I was going to do my normal 5 things after the Chelsea game, but I'm like, am I really going to... Do I want to talk about that game? No, I don't. No, I do not. So today we're going to run through transfer news. We're going to speak about Victor Gyokeres. Going to speak about Alvaro Fernandez and Real Madrid. We're going to speak about Bilbao. We're going to speak a little bit through the Chelsea game, but not too much. And I don't really want to focus on the league. I want to pretend the league didn't exist this season, which I'm sure is exactly what you want to do too. The nerves are building. How's everyone doing? How nervous are you feeling? Tomorrow I'm off. So today's the only live show until Friday. And then Friday, I'm either going to be ecstatic and hungover, or very sad and hungover. It's going to be a very... the chasm, the knife edge that United sit on, looking at both sides and what winning or losing this Europa League final means is quite horrible, really. Let's see who's here from the mod and the member gang. We'll get into the show. Good morning to you, Stephanie. Good morning to Carl. Good morning to you, Josh. I can see you there as well. We've got Toby, Teresa. We've got Liam, we've got John, Matthias, we've got Real C, we've got Vince and Tom. Please, everyone, get involved in the chat. Let me know what you think. We'll run through everything that happened at the weekend. And yeah, it should be a busy show, as always. And today, I'm recording... What am I recording? I'm recording 3 videos before I leave. I'm recording a couple of voiceovers. Done the podcast this morning. We've got the live show here today. Going to try and get a pod for tomorrow as well. Why have you not hired a studio in Bilbao? Because I will not be in a state to record a video. I will be. I'll try and behave as much as I can. It's not guaranteed, though. Let's get into the news, all right? Commiserations to the United's women's team. They lost the FA Cup final at the weekend. 3-0. I think that was the treble that completed for Chelsea? Yeah, they've had a cracking season. Yeah, United weren't good enough in the final. Savage has no updates on Cunha as of now. But yeah, commiserations to the women's team. And I thought it was quite interesting. Has anybody seen any news on this as to why Ratcliffe wasn't at the final? Avram Glazer was there, and I bet not. Remember, we were speaking about this last week, I think it was. If I find out that they've slapped on another 250 grand private jet cost, I won't go down very well. I won't go down very well at all. But I was just curious as to why Ratcliffe wasn't there, considering he was at the Chelsea game on Friday. Dean is saying we should be playing to win every game regardless of what it is. Do these players have no self-respect? We'll get into the Chelsea game soon. I mean, it's not as if any of us were surprised by the game. Majority of us predicted that United were going to lose the game. And we did lose the game. It doesn't make it any better. It's kind of a reality of where we are right now. Now this... I want to say a massive, massive congratulations to Crystal Palace. I enjoyed watching that on Saturday as a neutral. As a neutral, a cup final is fun. As a fan, it's horrendous. And Wednesday's going to be horrendous to watch. Even if we win, it's going to be squeaky bum time. But Crystal Palace beat City 1-0. Eze with the goal. And they deserved that win, man. They played... Did Guardiola moan after the game about Palace not playing football or some crap like that, which is exactly what I imagine he came out with. City end the season trophyless, and deservedly so. They're just going to spend 640 million in the summer anyway, so they're going to have a whole brand new team. I enjoyed watching that after full time though. I'm sure you all did it. What is it that Henderson said to him? I can't remember what he said to him. And he's saying how bad was City. I was shocked. Not really, man. Again, from a shocking perspective, there's been a lot of poor performances from City. The City this season are absolutely nowhere near where they were before. They have fallen off. They went from the treble to that. It's a real shame. No one likes to see it. But that now means that in the last 2 consecutive FA Cup finals, a Man United Academy graduate has been named man of the match because Dean Henderson had an absolute blinder in that game. Not just a penalty save. Although, let's be honest, I'm right. I mean, he should have been sent off, shouldn't he? If that happened against United, I would be fuming. Thank you very much, dude. Captain State Bake, out here gifting 5 memberships. If there's any of you who are going to Bilbao and you spot me, make sure you come over and say hello. Oh, you know what I want to say here quickly? I don't know who's done this. I can't remember who I gave my address to. This turned up in the post. You can see it there, UPTV 500k. Somehow, I've got an engraved Beavertown, which is a class little present. I've got no idea who it's from. So someone, thank you very much for sending it to me, but I've got absolutely no idea who you are. And I'm a bit confused as to who I gave the address to. Made me laugh. But yeah, it was definitely a red card. I'm glad you all agree on that. Like all red-tinted specs and all that. I would be fuming if that happened against United. Right, let's move on. Let's speak about transfers, because there's quite a lot of transfer conversation we can have. Today's, I'll give you a little teaser for what's coming up this week. We have got 3 videos, of course. Today I'm going to be doing a video on Gyokeres. I want to have a conversation about him. Tomorrow I'll be doing my Bilbao starting 11. That's going to be going out on Tuesday. And on Wednesday morning, it's just going to be a bit of an opinion video. Because, yeah, I'll save that for Wednesday. But today, the lunchtime video is going to be about Gyokeres. And there's loads of transfer conversations we could have. Got confirmation at the weekend from Lyon that Cherki is going to be leaving this summer. Now, I know there's quite a lot of you who would like United to sign Cherki. I think he's going to cost it, isn't it, somewhere in the region of 20 to 30 mil. So I think he's going to be a pretty fair value. I don't look at Cherki and put him high up on the list of signings I would want United to make this summer. From a priority perspective, do I think he could be a good signing for United? Yes, I do. But he does come with some red flags. He does. Let's be honest. Is it 25 million euros, someone's saying down there? Yeah, I've seen Martinez getting linked with an exit from Villa, the goalkeeper, Emi Martinez, and I've seen United being linked with him. Like, truth be told, right, if I'm Aston Villa, there's absolutely no way that I'm selling Martinez to United when I can just sell him to a Saudi club. Like, why would you do that? Good heavens, it's not about whether Cherki's good enough, because on the ball he's one of those get you to the edge of your seat talents. But off the ball, I'd question it, and I just don't know if the United can afford. I would class Cherki as a luxury signing, and the reason I would say that is because luxury signings, you kind of have to forgive them for certain elements of their game that they don't quite do as good simply because of how good they are on the ball, and you kind of have to make it up with the rest of the team. And I just don't think that United as a team are good enough right now to be able to give a player like that the space and time to do everything that he wants to do going forward without doing everything coming back towards his defence. And that's kind of the category I would put Cherki in, and probably why I would say I'm not sure that he'd be right for United. Let's move on to speak about other clubs, and they'll come back to United as well. Frimpong looks like he's going to be going to Liverpool. Got the here we go from Fabrizio Romano. So Liverpool have wasted absolutely no time in getting their Trent replacement. I'll be totally honest, I don't think they're really going to miss Trent. I really don't. I mean, he's a very good footballer, but I think they'll be able to move on from him quite quickly. Frimpong, like, it's going to be quite funny to watch. You know how the defensive work rate of Trent and the space he left behind was always an issue. It's probably going to be even tenfold. It's going to be tenfold with this. Connie is saying people keep repeating this red flag thing without really speaking about any examples. Well, dude, you can just look at how Cherki has been used in Lyon. There was quite a lot of the times he was left on the bench. It was if you are that good and there are no red flags, and you'll be starting every single game. But he wasn't, and he hasn't. So I actually haven't looked into what the manager has said about him or what the relationship was like. But there definitely are conversations to be had. Otherwise, every single club in the world would be in for him, right? And as well as Frimpong, so that's right back, it looks like Liverpool are now going to be moving for Gyokeres as well. So 2 new fullbacks, which they needed anyway. Liverpool moving fast. It's the 19th of May and they are moving fast. Real Madrid, of course, have got the Dean Howson deal wrapped up. They've got the Trent deal wrapped up. Reason that Real Madrid are moving fast and have to move faster this summer is because they're playing in the Club World Cup, so they want both of those players to play in the Club World Cup. So that's why Real Madrid are moving. Is it abnormally early for them? I don't really know if it's abnormally early, but they're moving fast. Liverpool looks like they're just trying to bury the Trent conversation and then move fast for Gyokeres, who of course is a Premier League proven signing. I think it'll be a good signing for Liverpool, unfortunately. I think it'll be a massive upgrade on Andy Robertson. I think Liverpool would do. How much? It's a Liverpool are completing the agreement on personal terms. I mean, how much do you think he cost? Somewhere like 50 mil? Is that too much? Don't know. Man, Bournemouth had a team this year, man. Howson going to Real Madrid. Maybe Gyokeres going to Liverpool. Fair play. How much do you reckon he'd go for? Turkey has apparently played the most games for Lyon this season. What do I know? Connie, you're saying 50 mil for him. Are Liverpool in the Club World Cup? I can't remember. Either way, I think that'll be a good signing for them. But sod speaking about Liverpool and what's going on in the transfer market, let's talk about Gyokeres. Now, I think for a lot of United fans, he's probably your number one. Quite a few saying 40 mil down there for Gyokeres. 50 mil, says Rob. Somewhere between 40 and 50. Don't know. But Gyokeres, right? I think, as I said, for a lot of United fans, it's either Gyokeres or it's Osimhen as to what striker you would like United to sign. Apparently, Liverpool aren't in the Club World Cup. Okay, fine. And I can understand that Gyokeres, quite literally, is top of the European Golden Boot race. I think there's one game left for Real Madrid. So if Mbappe scores one goal, Mbappe wins it, because I'm pretty sure they're neck and neck at the top. But Gyokeres, right? I'm going to run through this little clip here from Fabrizio Romano on Gyokeres, and then we can have a little conversation down here, right? Because this was the update from Fabrizio yesterday.
But Victor Gyokeres will leave this summer for 65 million euros package, and also included, so we will see how it's going to be structured based also on the club who's going to sign Victor Gyokeres. But the player is available for something around 65 million euros because 1 year ago many clubs wanted to sign him and Gyokeres accepted Sporting position to keep the player for one more season. Then when Amorim left the club in November, many clubs started asking for Gyokeres in January. He accepted to continue.
Anyway, don't need to watch the whole Fabrizio video. The point here is this. 65 million euros. That's the price for, max of 65 million euros. Effectively, what Romano is explaining there is that there was a verbal deal, because I think that Gyokeres has got a 100 million euros release clause in his contract. But he's going to be allowed to leave for less than that. If he was 100 million euros, well, United aren't in that conversation. Maybe Arsenal would be, in other clubs like that. But 65 million euros, which works out as around about 55 million pounds. Well, given the fact that we paid, 72 million for Højlund. It's mad, isn't it, when you say, 55 million pounds is a bargain. I don't think I'd use the word bargain. But 55 million pounds is a very fair market value for a player like Gyokeres. And a player like Gyokeres is, he's 27, right? And it would be a different type of signing compared to the signing. I think it's 27. No, it's 26. Well, he turns 27 in 3 weeks. Well, there you go. It would be a different sort of signing. What striker do you want United to sign? Or maybe do you think United will sign? Put it in the comments. Right, I'm gonna read out some of your chat here on Gyokeres, on Delap, on Osimhen. There's some interestingly different opinions down here. Captain Steak Bake, what are you saying down there? Can't wait to see McTominay lift the Serie A trophy. I didn't actually look at what the results were this weekend. Serie A results. What were they? Inter drew at home. And Parma. Oh, jeez. Inter must be fuming. Absolutely fuming. No way. As if Inter conceded a 90th minute penalty to drop 2 points. After. Oh, man. Inter fans must be pissed. Right, it looks like McTominay may well be lifting the title. Jordan, you're saying Gyokeres over Delap. Thomas, you're saying Osimhen, then Gyokeres, then Delap. And you're saying Gyokeres concerns you. Do we create enough in the fashion that he likes? Well, we obviously know that we don't right now. Because man, that goal that Crystal Palace scored at the weekend against City, you're watching that going, there. Not that. Chest down, play it off, turn around, feed the overlapping fullback, boom. Cut back, late run into the box, tick, 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 tick. You're watching that going, that is what United, that's what Amorim wants United to be able to do. But Haaland is, I will speak about Haaland soon. Someone talking there about how many goals Mbappe's got. Yeah, Mbappe's got, I think, 10 less than Gyokeres, but because of the coefficient ranking of the Portuguese league versus, I think it's Spain. I think it's La Liga, Premier League, and Bundesliga. Anything outside the top 5 leagues. Is Portugal going to top 5 leagues? Don't know. Imtiaz, Gyokeres is perfect if we win the Europa. His transfer fee is agreeable and his salary won't be outrageous. Shah, you're saying I'd take Gyokeres personally, love Osimhen, but he understands the system worked with Amorim. I'll be totally honest. I'm a little bit scarred. Scarred? Wrong way to describe it. I don't ever want to look at a signing again anytime soon and say, oh, because he's played for the manager previously, that's a reason we should sign him. Because I don't. Although it is a bonus and it is a plus, that same logic kind of drove us down the wrong road too many times under Ten Hag, and he had too much control. The good thing is that Amorim has no control, really, over who we sign. Of course, Amorim will have the Does Amorim have veto? I don't know whether they've spoken about that anywhere before. Amorim won't be able to say, I want to sign this player and this player only. Amorim will be able to say, I want to sign a top-level goal scorer that has these traits and these capabilities. All right, we'll go out and find you that striker, but he can't say exactly who he wants, like Anthony. Saying, no, this is the only player I want, and this is him here. And, of course, that's correct. Any striker that we sign is going to be an upgrade. If you looked at that goal that Palace scored against City, you're thinking, well, Haaland couldn't do that. I'm thinking Delap probably could. Could bring the ball down, hold the defender off, pass it back, turn, feed in a fullback that's running. It's not a difficult trait for a striker to have, but Haaland just cannot do it, man. Haaland cannot do it. Thomas saying, look, he shouldn't have the veto. The recruitment is there for a reason. I think I don't know whether Amorim has like a direct, like, no, we can't sign this player, or this is the player I want to sign. I imagine he's part of a conversation, but it will ultimately be down to Chris Vavell, who's our director of recruitment. We're now signing players for our football club rather than signing players for our managers or head coaches. This is where this summer is a difference. And so that's why we've got to stick to this vision. The underlying characteristics of what makes a top-class footballer in the Premier League now. And you know the fundamentals, the athleticism, the work rate out of possession, the intensity. All these apply to players no matter what formation you play. I mean, from an athletic perspective, I don't think there's going to be too many issues of Gyokeres coping with the Premier League. Let's be totally honest. There's also not any issues of Gyokeres adapting to the Amorim system because he became the striker that he is today under the Amorim system. Obviously, he was a success at Coventry in the Championship, but it was under Amorim where he shone. So let's just see how this one develops, because he's available for 65 million euros, and that is a very, very fair price in the modern market for a striker who scores that many goals. Loan out Højlund and Cheeto? I'll be interested to see whether the club actually loans out Cheeto next season. I don't think I'd be against it if it was a Premier League club. And it also kind of depends on what we do this summer. It's not going to happen, right? It's not going to happen. But in an ideal situation, right? In an ideal situation, I think United sign 2 strikers and we loan Højlund out for a season. I think that's best. I think that's the absolute... It feels like a fantasy. Because it's just probably not going to happen, is it? But in an ideal world, that's who we do. We sign a top-level striker, somebody who's happy to not just be a second striker, but 2 strikers who can sort of drop in and drop out. And especially if we're in the Champions League next season, then it's the only chance that we do sign 2 strikers. And I'll be honest, I think it's the only way that we've got a chance of signing him. And then if you sign those 2, and then you loan Højlund out, I think you should probably loan Cheeto out for a fact that he can... At that age, what is he, 17? I think Cheeto's 17. Yeah, man. Kid's 17. A season for him. I'll be honest, even a championship loan would be very good for him. Cheeto playing a season on loan like Ahmad did at a club that's competing for a promotion push, I think would be really good for him. Either way, I'll speak about Gyokeres in a bit more detail for my lunchtime video. Right? I don't really want to, but we have to have a little conversation about what happened on Friday. Yeah, two strikers is an ambitious statement. I know that. And I think the only way that possibly exists is if we win the Europa League. The whole plans, the whole roadmap changes whether we win or lose. That's why that game is so damn big on Wednesday. It's not just winning a European trophy. It's not just getting into the Champions League next season. And it's not just the extra money that will bring you. It's like, you can literally write, I think you could, and I don't feel like I'm exaggerating here. You could write out 2 roadmaps for Manchester United over the next 5 years. And I think they both look different, depending on whether we win or lose on Wednesday. Because the whole of next season will look completely different in terms of ambition and scale and investment that we've got and the squad that Amorim will have. If we're in the Champions League versus not in the Champions League. And that will affect the years after. So I honestly do think the what happens for Amorim completely changes whether we win or lose on Wednesday. And I'll speak about that in a little bit later in the show. But can we, look, fire it in the chat. What's your sort of reaction to the Chelsea game? What's your thoughts on the Chelsea game? Yeah, it just... God damn it, man. I honestly do feel like, and I can understand why people are annoyed about this. Maybe you can be annoyed with me about this. Like, I'm so numb to the league now. Like, I'm just not getting angry anymore. It's like it almost is like I've accepted that Manchester United are going to lose before Man United play. And I'm being honest. I haven't really thought about it until now. But I think that's probably what it is. Otherwise, I'd just be spewing at the mouth. I'd be moving. Debassis is saying it wasn't a bad game. I thought it was a really crap game of football. I'll be totally honest. Like, we were just... And Chelsea were equally as bad. Oh, yeah, come on, the boys. Talk about Chelsea. How about that for a Monday? Who wants the Fabrizio Bumba? Well, it looks like my video is not going to be on Gyokeres today. Why am I dancing? I don't know. Anyway, Fabrizio's just dropped this bad boy. Manchester United are now closing in on the Matheus Cunha deal. The Brazilian has accepted the project as agreement on personal terms is now being finalised. Final details to sort between all parties involved, and then here we go. Ladies and gents, if you want to compare like Cunha and Cherky, right? Who could technically play both in those two inside forward positions? And which one of those two I would be more excited about Man United signing? It's night and day of what I think that player could do for our club. It's the 19th of May, people. The season's not finished yet. We've got one league game to go. We've got the European final, the Europa League final on Wednesday. But United are moving. And this is a big... I honestly think this will... Do you think that Cunha will... If we have this conversation next year, do we think that Cunha will be the most important signing that we can make this summer? I really do think it could end up being like that. I think probably a striker, I think will have the most visible impact. Obviously, because we're going to be scoring more goals. So we'll directly lead to more points next season. But I don't know why I said that. But I feel that a player like Cunha will drive everyone up around him, man. I feel like he's going to be another Bruno in that respect. Like a player who won't accept, like in the way that we just had a little conversation there about the fact that I kind of accepted the fact that we were going to lose before we lost. Let me see what you're saying down there. Mike is saying, yes, unless we sign a top striker or a goalkeeper. Well, we will sign a top striker. I don't know who that striker is going to be yet. Cunha hopefully will be the attacking catalyst, says Stephanie. I like Cunha, says Ben, signing as he's an option at number 9 and number 10. Well, yeah, he can play in both positions. Good heavens, you're saying unless we sign Gyokeres, can he start on Wednesday? I don't think so. Mania saying, who said our club is pathetic and slow? It feels like United know exactly what they want this summer. There's no questions asked about what the transfer policy is going to be. Of course, we don't know exactly who the players are, but I think the club knows exactly who they want. And I think they know the exact order they want to do things. And going in for Cunha, as quick as we have gone in for Cunha, I think is a direct reflection of the fact that United knew that I think Forest were going to be going in for him. I think Newcastle definitely would have been in for him. And there would have been a lot of competition that you get rid of simply by making the leap first, which is what a club that plans can do. I really do see Cunha. Look, I said that Onana was going to be a transformative signing, and rightfully that should be held against me. I'm never going to use that phrase again. Put that in the James Wilson category. Well, I don't know which is the worst take, actually. Still think James Wilson won. Cunha will be exactly the sort of signing that we need. Really, really is. Premier League proven. There's a lot of boxes that he will tick. And I think he would bring somewhere between 15 and 20 goals next season. Not just in the league, just in general. But it sounds like we're going to get the here we go quite soon on him, and that's exciting. So I might still do my lunchtime. I suppose technically that's not really too much of an update. I don't not sure whether that's worth it or not. We'll see. Man, it's going to be busy. I swear to God, if we get a here we go for Cunha when I'm on a bloody train to Bilbao, it's exactly what's going to happen, isn't it? Because that's what happens. When I'm out of the studio, big news happens. So you're welcome. Because the only reason that we're signing him now is because I'm leaving. SK saying Cunha will be great for us to help Bruno out. And if we get Gyokeres, oh my God, and the youth in our team already still see a long-term Casa replacement as an issue, yeah, man, we really do need a big central midfield signing. I'm still unsure on the exact profile because I'm still unsure where Bruno's going to be playing next season, but we need like Eriksen and Casemiro, in my opinion. Eriksen and Casemiro should be leaving, and a big midfield signing should be coming in. What else are you saying down there? Really is annoying that someone's called James Wilson and is in the chat all the time. Keep giving me PTSD. James saying, I thought no Champions League would be an issue next summer, but getting the Cunha deal done early gives me some hope that we can have a decent transfer window regardless. Look, the pull of Manchester United is still a massive, massive pull, and it still just sweeps aside 75% of clubs. It really does. Like, just the magnitude of how big this football club is remains. It hasn't been lost, despite the fact that, like, and as far as we're all concerned, because we have had a crap 10 years, and inside this crap 10 years, we've won the Europa League, we've lost a final, we're in another final, we've won an FA Cup, we've lost an FA Cup final, and we've won the League Cup. And this is in our sort of banter era, if you want to call it that. We haven't won the league since 2013. We haven't won the Champions League since 2008. And still, I've just listed off all the finals that we've been in and all the cups that we've won. It's just, it's quite funny, man. Funny? It's just, I underestimate really how big Manchester United is. I think I kind of just still take it for granted because I'm a United fan, I suppose. Anti saying Cunha early is a statement of intent and makes us more attractive to other players too. Demonstrates the project very well, quietly confident here. I think it's a big signing because Cunha could have had... What other clubs would have been in for Cunha? I said Nottingham Forest. I think Newcastle would have been in for him as well. I don't quite know who else. I don't really think I've got linked to any other player. Aaron, look, you're saying Cunha will be our Cantona type signing. I did a video on the attitude of Cunha and the mentality of Cunha and how I said, you know what I would love United to sign? Just more players that are happy to be hated, that use that as fuel and energy. Some players that goes, I don't want to piss anyone off. Just kind of want to stay in the straight and narrow because it's easier for me. Whereas I want some players who come in and say, look, we know that everyone hates United, but instead of you pitying us now because of how much you hate us and how crap we are, you're now going to start hating United again because we're going to start winning. And I'm going to enjoy that. I'm going to enjoy pissing you off by making United better again. Batman is saying, what do you think about the Emi Martinez rumours? I think that Villa would be stupid to sell him to United if we were in for him. Given there's going to be links to Saudi clubs, I think they would sell him for more money. And I think I don't really know what Emi Martinez wants to do. If he wanted to stay in the Premier League and wanted to stay in England, then, well, obviously I think United would be a conversation if we were in for him. Which financial year does this count in? What, the Cunha situation? What do you mean? I don't know when United's accounts start or end. Is it September? I think it might be September. The fear of playing against United is 0% right now. It absolutely is 0%. But that hopefully will change as we start, operating as an actual football club again. Hector saying, safe travel, Sam. Please be our good luck charm. I really, really hope I'm going to be our good luck charm. Can I just ask everybody, right? If you can now, go over to the Instagram account and follow United People's TV, right? There's the Instagram account there. Boom. I'm going to be doing some story updates from my trip. I'll do videos and they'll go out on the YouTube channel. But if you want to follow the journey, make sure you follow us at United People's TV on Instagram because there'll be more stuff on there. Maybe I'll do a little live over there. I don't quite know. Right, let's move on briefly and just... I've got to mention this stat. That stat has to be the worst stat that I've seen, right? I think that's the worst stat I've seen from this season so far. We've gone the entire league season without winning back-to-back games. We haven't won 2 games in a row all season long. That is just... It's almost sickening, really, isn't it? Almost sickening. As was watching Hoyland play up front. I don't know what else to sort of say or think. Inez is saying, please do a live after if we win. Well, firstly, I don't know how good the signal's going to be there. Secondly, I'm going to be in a stadium full of 15,000 fans. So I doubt very much I can do a live. I'm going to hopefully do a match reaction. I'll do a match reaction in the stadium if we win. If we lose, Ain't no way I'm doing that in the ground. No way. I'll do that outside the stadium. But Højlund, we were. I've made it very clear how I judge Manchester United players. I won't ever make a full judgment on a United player in their first season at the club. I just won't. But I will make that judgment in their second season. And if there isn't development in that second season, and instead of going from any promise, and there was promise in Højlund's first season, he scored 16 goals. He looked good. There were problems, but there were areas where I go, yeah, okay, you can build on that. You can build on that. And just this season, everything has just gone the complete opposite direction. It's like he's terrified of being a footballer. It's like he's terrified of touching the ball. It's like he's terrified of making a mistake to the point where he can't do anything to correct his season. You can't start Højlund in the final. You can't. I think Højlund was dropped for the FA Cup final last season by Erik ten Hag. I think we played Bruno in a false 9, and we set up in a system. Do not be surprised if Manchester United play in a bit of a low block against Spurs. Ruben Amorim has made it abundantly clear all season long. I'm not happy with it, but I'll be honest, like United actually play, the players are more confident if we play in a low block. And especially if we do a false 9, I think the low block is even more. Debasis, exactly it has. The pressure has got to his head. Højlund is a far better footballer than he's showing right now, but he's in such a frame of mind that I don't think that's going to change in the final. I honestly think you're going to have to look at options. You could speak about Mainu as a false 9. You can speak about Mount as a false 9. Someone else is a false 9. There is no other striker that we can have. But the way that he's playing right now, Højlund is a hindrance to this team. And it isn't to throw a young lad under the bus and stamp on it. It's not at all. But as a fan, I can say that having watched Højlund all season and continue, and he's been getting the opportunities, and even when he scored a couple of goals, he's just not there. So, Young C, it's a hard question. You're saying who starts as number 9 in the final. I'm going to run through that in my starting 11 video, which goes out tomorrow. Unfortunately, it's not Cunha, which would be nice. And yeah, and I think that's kind of a fair point as well. Spurs playing that high line, United should try and expose that behind, and Højlund is probably the best player to expose that. It's going to be a hard 11 for Ruben Amorim to call. It really, really will be. But a little positive note. A little positive note is that Aiden Heaven came off the bench, and it didn't have the greatest of cameos, but it was just good to see that he was fit enough to make the squad and to come off the bench. So that hopefully gives Ruben Amorim another option, because we don't know what's going on with Lenny Yoro. The latest is that, Yoro's injury wasn't bad enough against West Ham that it completely rules him out. So there's a potential that he goes. I imagine he travels. I imagine Yoro's going to be in the travelling squad. Whether he's fit or not to start, we don't know that yet. And it'll be a risk for him. But he may well be in that squad. That's the kit we're going to be wearing, by the way. Black shorts, black socks, standard home kit. What's everyone feeling? What's everyone thinking? We're definitely going to get a Here We Go on Cunha now that I'm bloody going. I mean, they're going to have to record that as well. 4 videos today. Jeez, man, Joseph. Who announced he's going to be fit for the final? I didn't see that from anywhere. I'm guessing when do United travel? Do United travel today? I mean, it'll be in an ideal world you'd travel today, wouldn't you? Let's have a look. You're going to the Europa final. Just looking at United website. Don't think so. Draw and lose on pens. Oh, don't you dare. If this goes to pens. Nah. Nope. 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 Manla, thank you for gifting 5 memberships. Neil, you're saying think we'll tank them. Spurs are even worse than us. It is mad, isn't it, that Spurs are somehow worse than us. And I've watched United all season. Like, for you to be worse than this United team, it's genuinely a bit of an accomplishment. Really is. But the Spurs have had our number. That's the only game that I've watched away from home this season was Spurs away in the league. Was it the League Cup? Was it the FA Cup? Can't remember which it was. And that was it 4-3, 4? I don't know what it was. 2-1 United, but the win will come in extra time. Bruno hat-trick, I imagine. I can't believe how good this. Big up to Bao, man. Bao for sorting the seats out for this. I can't believe how good the seat is. I really won't be able to see much. And that's the thing I said from the semi-final against Bilbao. Like it's awesome being in the stadium. But I cannot do my job properly as a sort of a pundit per se from in the ground. You just can't do it. But I can do my job as a fan. And I can't. That's who I am on Wednesday night, man. I'm going to try and be as professional as I can be, but I'm can't wait to just be there as a fan and to watch it and hopefully watch United win the Europa League. And for all the players that come over and celebrate in front of us and just me and loads of mates just enjoying the game. Piss off, Spurs. Piss off. Man. I mean, Spurs will be going into this final, obviously, with the same sort of mentality of trying to save the season. But when was the last time they won a final? They choke. They have done. I don't know what the Spurs squad's looking like. Was it Sarr who went off with an injury? I'm not really sure. Yeah, Kulusevski is a massive loss for them. So is Bergvall and so is Maddison. So from a creative perspective, they're definitely suffering from injuries. Manda's saying, I'll forgive Haaland if he scores a hat-trick. I'll forgive anyone that scores a hat-trick. It's going to be an epic... I hope it's going to be an epic win. Oh, come on, man. Come on. What else have we got to say about the final? This is such a true comment. There was a little interview with Mazraoui about the final and the build-up. And he was saying this, which is so absolutely spot on, and it's something that we've all said for like a long... We keep repeating it and repeating it. I don't think we're anywhere near a 1-2 team in the Europa League, but we are certainly more clinical in the Europa League. We beat Bilbao 7-1 on aggregate. We beat Sociedad 4-1 at home. We scored 5 against Lyon in the second leg. We scored 7. Did we win? Was it 2-2 in the first leg? So that's 14 goals against Lyon and Bilbao. And then 5, is that 19 goals in 3 ties? We're scoring goals in the Europa League, man. We're conceding a lot as well. Certainly the Lyon game. We have to be more clinical. I'm getting nervous. Getting nervous. Dean saying, I can't wait for this week to be over and there to be a trophy at the end of it. It would be glorious, wouldn't it? It really will. Imagine like bookending this season by winning the Europa League and getting in the Champions League. Now, I think I've said this before, and I know it's such a ridiculous way to look at it, but it is kind of true. It's like if we win on Wednesday, it's like it's the exact same as finishing like 5th in the league. Next season will look the exact same as a consequence. If we had finished 5th and qualified for the Europa League, or we finished 16th and we win the Europa League. Next season, as a consequence, looks the exact same because no United fan will look back at it and argue about how much better a season is because we finished 5th. But if we lose on Wednesday, just how bad this season has been will like it will come home, right? Just how bad this season has been will be like visceral and visible, and that's what it is. Is the responsibility of these players on Wednesday to do their jobs, to be professional, where they haven't been professional so many times this season, right? 17, 18, how many losses have we got in the league now? I don't know. 18 losses in the league? Something like that. They just simply haven't been professional in the league. They've been professional in the Europa League, but not in the Premier League. So do this one more game. And they have a responsibility to do that, man. They really do. And I suppose the exact same conversation will be happening for Spurs in their dressing room. And ultimately, one of those teams are going to lose. But don't you dare be that losing team, United. Don't you dare be that losing team. Yeah, 18 games. Look, to end on a high note here, let's go back to this. Fabrizio Romano's basically said, look, we're on the verge of the here we go now with Cunha. So it looks like I'm going to have to make sure that, I'll tell you what we've got ready and prepped. A really in-depth profile video on Cunha and what he could bring to United. That's already recorded and ready to go. I'll get another video prepped for the here we go on Cunha. And then tomorrow we've got the starting 11 video. On Wednesday, going to have an opinion video. Yeah, Neil, I'm going to miss everyone. I hope you all have a cracking week, peeps. But as I said one more time, please go over there and follow the Instagram account, United People's TV, at United People's TV. I'm going to be there on the story, having some fun. Maybe, I don't know what I'm going to do. I've got 9 hours on the train. Could do a Q&A technically on there. No, I'm not sure. We'll see. Podcast-wise, I'm not sure what I'm going to do. Might record something on the train on the way to Bilbao as a sort of preview because there's 4 of us on the train. That could be fun. But it's going to be a busy week. I'm going to try my best to get everything covered. Yeah. The next time we have a live chat will be on Friday. And I hope I come back with like some sort of Bilbao hat. Big old specs. And we have a cracking show on Friday. Alex, you're saying you think already playing in the stadium gives us an advantage? In my head, I keep hearing and winning, Ange winning in his second season. I don't know whether, I suppose technically it's an advantage. The fact that we just played in San Mamés and the fact that we just put in one of our best performances there. So the players will be used to the environment, but it's going to be different. There's going to be 15,000 United fans at one end and 15,000 Spurs fans at another end. It's different. Love you all. I say this so many times, but thank you for, whoever sent this UPTV 500k Beavertown glass. I have no idea, but it's a quality little present. We should hopefully have some fun stuff to talk about this week. And I hope we've got a win. All right? Take it easy. Make sure you check out the lunchtime video. The start 11 video is going out tomorrow, and another video on Wednesday, and then the final. Please win United. Please. It feels like I'm begging at this stage. I'll be honest, I pretty much am.